Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. You're going to be taking a look at none other than this Mafex. I'm sorry. This is actually the CT Toys version of the brown suit Wolverine. It's technically you want to call it a bootleg, knockoff, reproduction, whatever you want to call it. But it is of the Mafex 138, which is the brown suit, which is an extremely coveted figure for many collectors, which as of right now, if you went on the aftermarket trying to find this thing, it's a stupid price. I think it's fetching like over $200-300, which is fucking wild to me personally. And so ever since I started collecting 112, I started hearing the rumors of CT Toys, who does a lot of repros, or like I said, it's called knockoffs, fakes, copies, whatever you want to call them, that they were going to do the brown suit Wolverine. Now, they've already done a few of them, and I have a few in my collection. I have to admit, I'm not exactly a huge fan, as many other collectors are. This cost me like $25 on AliExpress, and where a lot of collectors see the value and they saved a lot of money, I'm willing to put up the money if the quality is there. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to be an idiot and go buy a $300 Mafex figure, but for example, Mafex very well may be doing a reissue or re-release of this version, which I will 100% cop that in a heartbeat. But enough talking. I'm not saying this is perfect. I paid $25. I think I got my value out of it, and I don't mean that in a good way. Definitely ran into some issues with this, and so I wanted to film this just to kind of let anyone see what's going on. But we're going to take a look at this thing right now. And here, traditional packaging from CT. See, I keep even saying Mafex here. But you got the the artwork here on the front, CT down in the corner. There's no holograms, no logos, and you have all the imagery on the back of this piece. I was really excited to get this. I was actually kind of surprised how fast this figure actually arrived. So we're going to take a look at this and open it up so you guys can take a look at it. It did come with a figure, shitty stand. I didn't even bother, but we have the figure here. Let me see if I can open up this top clamshell without everything going all over the place like it always wants to. Here we go. Perfect. So now right off the bat, I'm just going to run through the items. You have the figure itself. It also comes with an alternate mask with him giving kind of a smirk. You also have a Logan head sculpt with the mask kind of thrown over his shoulder for that look, and then you have some hands. It comes with fisted hands, and then you have kind of open gesture, and then you of course have, which I like many think are the best pair of claws. If you have that tiger stripe version, I mean, a lot of people end up getting the claws replaced just because they look really straight. They don't look natural, but it's a version of nonetheless. So now let's take a look at this guy right off the bat. Now, the reason why I'm saying issues is that one of the issues, and I'm pulling here real fast, one of the issues I normally have with the CT toy figures, like I said, I've had a couple Spider-Man figures, the black suit, the red and blue, is just the joints. They're either very stiff or they break or whatever that case may be. And I understand it's a $25 figure, but got to be subjective here, even if it is $25. So the head right off the bat, the articulation, everything looks really good. The paint applications don't look terrible. Like I said, everything looks on point. I don't have any issues as from what I can see of the color. Like I said, the paint lines don't look terrible. A little bit of a difference of color here, but you kind of already seen where my complaint is going to be. So I started playing with these arms, and right off the bat, I noticed something really kind of weird about this when I was doing posing, when I was flexing out, changing out the arms here. So you can see here, the one thing is the rivet joints. The joint on this is very tight, as I noticed. But when I went to go pull the arm off to swap it, this actually came loose, as you can see here. And this ultimately just ended up popping right out. Now, this was a known issue, I think, with the first round of the Tiger Stripe figures, but I think it's more or less because it's a $25 figure. Same thing with the other one. Now, I'm not trying to go ahead and pull. These did come out very easily. I'm not making a huge deal about it because, like I said, I paid 25 bucks. But I could see this over time becoming a little bit of a nuisance depending on how I change out the arms. I'm going to be honest, I'm probably going to have him with the claws and then never change them again. But nonetheless, I haven't seen a lot of reviews out for this. And so I just wanted to put this out there to kind of let you know, be aware of it. This piece here is a little bit loose, the tricep area, and so like I said, this can pop out really easily. You know, if you just push this joint back in nice and tight, really shouldn't have any issues. But you hear that squeaking of that kind of, you know, you hear the squeaking there, but the joints on it are pretty tight. Pretty I you know, playing with the joints here on the knees, that looks good. Everything bends. Toe articulation doesn't look terrible. This one looks pretty stiff. I don't want to push it too far to try to break anything. I'm not trying to break anything, but I'm just testing where, you know, the limitations are and what looks good. The crunching looks pretty good there with the abs, like I said, back and forth. From what I can see with the paint, doesn't look terrible in some areas. Like I said, there's the head sculpt. So like right off the bat, like I said, it doesn't look terrible. Just dealing with that, you know, this bicep issue. So now that we have the hand off, we might as well just take the other one off and put these big ass claws on there, which look really badass. So we're just gonna pop this one on. I always get worried because I actually broke the pin on my very first Mafex, the red and blue Spider-Man. I think it was like 180, whatever one that was, 180 something it was. I broke the pin off of that, and I didn't know that you don't get replacements. But here are the claws, and this thing, it does look really cool. It really does look neat. I love the curvature of the claws, how they're curved and how they're separated, unlike the tiger striped, where they're just straight and very close. I know that's just a particular look, but this thing, it looks really cool. Now let's take a look at this head sculpt. We're gonna pop that one off. It is on a dumbbell joint, so to speak, and we're gonna pop on the very easy to pop that on. This is the alternate. Like I said, there is the alternate versus. So you have one really not that big of an expression difference. Personally, I actually like this one better. He looks kind of like, I don't know, like he's got fangs, kind of a weird look there. I don't know if the original has that, but this is what the two look like side by side, so you guys can see. I prefer this look over this one here. And then what we want to do is, I'm curious to see how the Logan looks, so we're going to pop this attachment on, which is the piece that goes over his shoulder, so that you can see how the mask looks. And then we are going to do the Logan sculpt, screaming, which that's what the Logan sculpt looks like. I do not have the original to compare, so if anyone wants to drop a comment, let me know what they think about the quality, if they think that sculpt looks like the original. Judging by the paint application, it does look pretty good to me. I do like the black with the blue highlights, reminiscent of the comics and also the cartoon show. I thought it had a cigar. Maybe I was wrong. I thought this one had a cigar or something like that with it, the original. So I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't usually like doing reviews of stuff if I don't know about the original in hand, just to see kind of, I like to do comparisons a lot, if you can tell from my other videos. But this one, it looks really good though. The screaming, it looks a little, I don't know, it looks off compared to other Logan, like other Marvel Legend, or even Mondo. I know there's screaming sculpts there, Hot Toys. The sculpt looks a little off, a little, doesn't look intimidating, I guess is a nice way of putting it. It does not look intimidating to me, but it's a good sculpt nonetheless for what it is. Once again, I know this is $25, so I'm not trying to be, I'm usually one where I try to be critical based on the price that I paid. So this isn't like a $300 figure. So slack can definitely be cut in areas, just because, like I said, 25 bucks. But it is an impressive piece. I wish that I had my tiger stripe to compare the height. My tiger stripe is actually in storage. For those who know, I'm moving my collection room around, so I have stuff in temporary storage, and that is actually where my tiger stripe figure is. I didn't actually expect this to ship so fast, so I didn't have time to, I have time to do this review, but I didn't have time to go get the tiger stripe to do a height comparison. But I mean, he does look good in hand. Have him dynamically posed. Ultimately, though, the look that I'm probably going to have on him is going to be this look here, with the kind of neutral closed mouth, and there are the claw hands. Like I said, I really do like the way this looks. The claws are absolutely the best part for me. Overall, I mean, for $25, I mean, it's hard to beat this for 25 bucks. I mean, what CT Toys is doing is pretty damn impressive for $25. like I said, I don't mean to be overly critical. I might be a little over just because of reviewing Hot Toys and, you know, Mafex and SH Figuarts, that, you know, maybe I'm being a little harsh on this $25 piece, but shit, I mean, this is impressive. Once you get, you know, yours may or may not have the arm thing. I'm probably will, as long as you tuck those in and, you know, you just be careful pulling these arms out. You know, I don't think you're going to run into any issues, but shit, this is an impressive piece for the price.
I also want to make a point that this portion was done after the review that I noticed when I was posing it for some photos and I was bending the knees in some, you know, trying to get some dynamic poses. I was like, why the kneecaps don't pop back into place? I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? So obviously because of the joints and the way it's designed, you have to make sure if you bend these knees in a drastic pose, like crouching or jumping, the kneecaps might pop out a little bit. So you have to make sure you pop the kneecaps kind of back. As you can see here, the kneecaps are like popped out. They don't fully close in. So you have to kind of pop those knees back in. So, you know, design flaw, whatever it is, just because it's cheap. And I don't know why I bought a 1/12 scale Wolverine popcorn bucket. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this. Anyway, I just wanted to do some poses here with the figure to kind of wrap up the review. Ultimately, having played with the figure a little more after recording it, you know, it's a good piece. Once again, I think people are going to kind of be lenient on this because it's $25. They're going to say it's the best and it's a great fake bootleg. It really is good. The plastic is, I feel, is cheap. You know, the joints are tight trying to get it posed. You got to be a little patient with it, to be honest with you. The overall figure, I feel like, is more of a placeholder. As I've said before, if Mafex came out announcing they were going to redo this figure tomorrow, I'd still pick it up for this, you know, $100 or whatever they're going to charge for it. This is just a fun piece to do some photography with, you know, things like that. But I personally wouldn't call this a permanent piece in my collection, in the sense of I would never get the brown suit because I have this one. You know, even if Mafex doesn't do a reissue and I find the Mafex version at a good price, I would still pick it up. That's just me. Like I said, you get what you pay for out of it. I think I've gotten my value out of it for $25. I went in with no expectations on this piece. But I did want to do a review on this because I think people are going to probably be, you know, because of the price, saying, oh my God, it's the greatest thing. I just wanted to kind of be a little more subjective with it. You know, like I said, trying to give it the benefit of the doubt. Like I said, it's just a fun thing to pick up and play with, but I'm not really going to make sure that it's posed up with all my good stuff just because I don't know long-term how long this will stay the way it is. There is some flaws to it just because of the price point on it, but like I said, I had fun with this one. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are if you're picking this up. Drop a like on this video. Please consider subscribing to the channel. And like I said, let me know what you guys think. If you have this, what your thoughts are. And if you have the original and you see some stuff in the video here, drop a comment below. Let me know if I missed anything or if there's any changes that CT made to the, you know, from the original Mafex. I'm interested to know. And until then, this is Mr. Mom Collectibles saying take care, and I will see you guys in the next video.